Okay, hi everybody. I hope you're all keeping well. It's Neve here from our customer success team, and we also have Matt. And today we're going to run through how to maximize your conversion with a website health check. So, whether you have a website or you don't, or you're using predominantly social media, there are many different platforms which you can really focus on for a positive and strong lead acquisition and just overall kind of health check on why it's important to really focus on those landing points for your customers or for your members. So with that, I'll hand you over to Matt for us to kind of run through what we'll be talking about today.
Thanks, Neve. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly just run through the agenda of what we're going to talk about today. It's kind of five key points. And yeah, everything's kind of overlapping into the next. So there's no kind of a little bit of everything. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is the most common and cost-effective channels for effective lead acquisition, how to optimize your Glofox web integration to generate the most leads, the best way to ensure potential customers can access your booking portal and member app, capture leads and schedule them into their first class using the powerful lead capture forms. And then finally, just like 5 things you can do to maximize the conversion rate of those leads into paid members. So from here, yeah, we'll jump back to Neve and we'll get into it.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Right now, the most effective kind of lead acquisition channels, generally the main one that people have is a website. And if you do have a website, then that's absolutely brilliant. If you don't, then I would strongly consider getting one, simply just because it's a really powerful way and kind of something that an awful lot of members, if you think of yourself as a member and you're looking to try and find the actual the validity of a business, generally speaking, you do kind of run it and look up on to see if they have a website. Certain things that you can do just to really enhance and maximize your website, just to make sure that it is kind of as strongly and as positively set up as possible for a strong conversion rate, is to list your business with Google My Business, for example. So, whenever you do Google My Business and so on, you really want to make sure that you have your image there, that as much as possible, ask for reviews. It can either be from a family member, it could be from an avid user of the business. So definitely try and get reviews where you can and when you can. And then obviously main point is to have to link to your contact details. Some people may be pretty old school and not want to research things themselves. So they will always look to see if you have an email address or a contact number. So it's always really, really important to include that in that kind of initial first view. You want to make sure then as well in your actual website that you have quality content there as well. So where that comes in really, really helpful is that if you have quality content there, that will generate organic traffic. So that's something just to really focus on, that knowing that whatever you put into your website, that the content is strong, it's relatable to members or to prospective members to your business. So that's something to think about whenever you are constructing the actual aesthetics of your business. Again, just kind of on that aesthetic note, layout and design is so crucial in terms of, a positive conversion rate. You don't want kind of a maze of a website to run through. I think Matt and I can both test that we are pretty much nerds for a really good looking website. So we want to make sure that it's clean, it's crisp, that I can navigate my way clearly through it. And that's just all by making sure that your brand is very, very present throughout the entire website. You want to very much know and kind of show who you are and what your business is. Consistency, again, you want to keep that kind of entire aesthetic. So if your homepage is set up a certain way, you don't want it to clash completely, let's say, with your class schedule or your membership schedule. So you want to keep the tone and the vibe of the entire kind of business quite consistent. And that not only goes for, let's say, your website, but for, let's say, all communications that you use, you want to make sure that they're steady as well throughout the entire kind of member experience. And then, yes, intuitive navigation. You don't need a Dora the Explorer type of experience whenever you go onto a website. You want to make it so clear for your prospects that this is where you sign up. This is where you view our class schedule. I find websites that I'm having to navigate through and click here and click there, it's just a nightmare, and I'm soon off the website than actually registered through it. So that's something to really, really think about. We as humans are pretty lazy whenever it comes to actually, using a service at times. So we want to make it so seamless for them. And then a clear call to action. So that's integrating with our booking portal. So that's something, again, it's just so important to make sure that you have a clear, if you have a beautiful website, but you have, no actual purpose for, no action for your members or for your prospects to actually complete, then you've just wasted all of your effort and I guess lost all the potential that could be from actually getting your website set up and making that so aesthetically pleasing. So those are the few things that I would definitely recommend, thinking about in terms of getting your website set up. The call to action that we're really kind of, I guess, advocating for here is our booking portal, which we have, and that's available for all plans within Glofox. So on the dashboard, there's a section for you to have, let's say, your own booking portal. So even if you don't have, a website, and Matt will touch on this later, you can make sure that all of your other platforms, such as social media, your member apps, and so on, that all of them have a link to this booking portal, which will kind of facilitate somewhat of that mirrored image of a website. With the booking portal, as you can see here through the GIF, it gives you that clean cut option to book your classes, to purchase your memberships, and so on. So it really gives just all your members, clear instructions on what they need to focus on. Really effectively, you can link out to certain classes, to link out to certain pages if that's what you want to, so you can actually tailor and personalize your the links that you have available on different platforms as well. If you do need any support with this, I guess don't hesitate, because we do have an in-house web integration team. So they are a phenomenal team, and they work with all of our customers, which is a very large member base at the moment. So they're really kind of experienced in terms of looking at different styles of websites. We aren't massive advocates for having like a cookie cutter website across the entire board. So that's where our team's experience comes in, is they're well familiar and customizing to, let's say, looking at certain types of styles of websites and what actually fits your own kind of business style as well. So if it's the case that you have your own developer and maybe you just want to double check and sound everything off that what you've done already so far is good, then just get in contact with our customer success team. If we feel, and we'll have a look at it, and again, as I said, Matt and I are pretty much nerd out whenever we do look at a website to kind of see whether it's well set up or not. We will be able to have that eye, and if we think that it could be enhanced a little bit, Matt and I nerd out to a certain degree, but whenever it comes to actually implementing the changes, we definitely bring in the professionals. So that's where we would introduce you to our web integration team. So if you do have any doubts about what your web integration is like at the moment, don't hesitate to reach out. Even if it's the case that, in the past couple of months, we've had a few people upgrade to certain plans as well. So their plans might have changed to have new features on them, or you want to kind of go through a whole refresh, definitely link out with us. So even if you've been a customer for 1 month or for 3 years, definitely reach out just so we can do that quick refresh, because you'd be very surprised at what a kind of a refresh on a website can do to lead acquisition. So with that, I think I'll pass it back over to you, Matt, where you can run through social booking links, if that's okay. Oh, I think we're looking.
Oh,
there we
all
go.
Good. All good. I have the two screens and my mouse got stuck on the other side of the screen. Amateur stuff. But yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I'll jump into kind of the social booking links. So like while Niamh touched on like, the first port of call is having a good website. We'd also then say, if you didn't have a website, or to further better yourself, the next kind of area is social media. So, one of the biggest things we have at the moment is most people nowadays, for example, spend 45% of the world's population spend about 2 hours per day using social media. And if any of you have watched on Netflix, The Social Dilemma, it will explain to you that we're probably going to go further and we're going to spend more and more time using these devices. So why not use that to your advantage? So one of the really cool things about the booking platform is that you can actually, whether you're using Facebook or Instagram, it's crucial to make it as easy as possible for your leads and clients themselves to book and get straight through to that platform. So now what you can do is you can direct your leads to your website or your booking portal through a Book Now button that you can enable on both your Facebook page as well as through Instagram by inserting booking links in your bio. One of the things some people straight away say about, the Glofox or with Glofox when they go to, share these links is that the links are quite long, which, on a platform like Instagram would look, you know, not the best. So we always advise using things such as bit.ly, which is a URL shortener. And essentially what you can do there is make a big long link look a lot more appealing, and also, you know, it just can direct them straight to where you want them to go, essentially. And then, you know, you can go steps further there with bit.ly and other URL shorteners, where you can pay for accounts in which you can edit the URL itself to make it maybe even match your business that little bit further if it was something you were looking to do. We will go in and we'll show you a couple of what these look like at the end of these couple of slides. And so you'll be able to get a good idea of what it looks like and how you're going to set that up. Another really good thing to notice is that the usage of health and fitness apps has risen a lot over the last few years. And I mean, I think we can vouch for that. Our app over the last 2 years has really soared in the usage of it. And the feedback that we get for our member app is that, you know, it's a clean, fast experience for the members, and that there's not really anywhere that they can go wrong. So as Niamh said, we do kind of nerd out when we like to see, you know, simplified booking processes, and our app is kind of a reflection of that as well. But yeah, so another key thing here is just be sure to link, you know, that app is in as many places as you can. For me, it's kind of like, you know, you want that on your website, you're going to want it on Instagram, you're going to want people to be able to click this and just download the app straight away. And again, not having to go through, you know, jumping through loads of rabbit holes to get to the kind of the end goal. And then I think finally there's one bit. Yeah. And then another thing that a lot of people forget today now is kind of our Glofox Pro app. So if you're on the gold package or up, your admin and trainers should have access to the Glofox Pro. You know, we've been adding more and more functionality to this side of the app as well for the last year. And a lot of people do forget that you can now actually, you do have the ability to create leads through that app. So whether you're out and about and, you know, you just met someone and, you know, on a night out or dinner or wherever you are, you can always simply add them back into your, you know, your leads list without too much hassle at all, just using your phone. And again, as well, the phone has the reports and live data on it as well. So this app, and we will be adding more and more functionality to it. You can now, like, you know, trying to close a sale, there's no excuse for your staff not to capture the leads, and offer incentives to kind of encourage more sales there. So I think the next part here, Niamh will probably take over, and we'll jump in to kind of show you what some of this stuff looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even just from that Glofox Pro piece, I think sometimes, you know, an awful lot of us, we do focus on automating processes so much, whereas I think it's important to remember some businesses still operate off that kind of, you know, personal touch where they do all of the kind of acquisition themselves. And, you know, that's absolutely great. And, you know, power to you, it's brilliant. But don't forget, there are still ways that you can make that aspect of your life a little bit easier. So I think all the points that Matt pointed out there on the Glofox Pro, it's definitely important to kind of really get versed in using that as well if it's available to your plan. So yeah, we're just going to run through a couple of examples of let's say how, you know, social media links are used, and how like a website is really positively set up to, let's say, support kind of a lead acquisition piece. So here is the SQUAL. They are an Irish business, and they're based in Cork. You'll see here they have just quite a simple link of the SQUAL.ie. So this is a website that they recently launched. So as you can see, it's very clear that you can all that you have to do is select that. You know, if it's a case that you don't even have a website, as Matt said, you do have that option to use a booking link there or a bit.ly link, excuse me, to our booking portal and so on. So that's something that you can use. So again, very clearly, you've got the entire kind of your home screen here, and then obviously then you're brought to, let's say, all of your services that are available. So it is pretty clear what's required there. Similarly to the SQUAL, again, they have a very strong social media presence. They have their book now linked out to their actual memberships page as well, which I think is really encouraging. So whenever you're ready to go and get booking, you can go and purchase your membership straight away. And this would be an example of what our booking portal would look like without, let's say, your header and footer of your membership, so without it being really integrated in your website. So again, it's still very slick, it's still very seamless. You can choose all of your coloring here. So just to kind of run through a quick review of what this will look like on your actual dashboard is if you go into website integration here, and just in case you missed that because I flew through it, select the menu icon and then website integration, and here you can choose like all of your entire color codings. Again, thinking about branding, thinking about that consistency. You can choose, let's say, what actually shows up, the conditions and the certain filters. So again, there's that piece of customization involved, so you don't have to have or so that there isn't a cookie cutter template, that it's, you know, it very, very much can tailor to your own, and you can create your own customized links as well. And just that piece on for anybody who is massively interested in, let's say, marketing and any kind of tracking any of those lead acquisitions, we do integrate with Facebook Pixel. So that's something that's really important if it's the case that you're running kind of strong Facebook advertisements. So those are a few examples of, let's say, how you can get your social media links set up. Matt touched a little bit on, let's say, just having actual links to apps available. To me, this is so important. And I'm much more of an app person than, let's say, you know, running any kind of actions on an actual website. So, you know, having a clear indication here of download or active book. I mean, this is so seamless. Like, they've made it so easy to be like iPhone, Android. So I don't even have to think about it. I'm like, okay, iPhone, fine. And then I'm getting brought straight then to my actual app link. So this is going to be all kind of dynamic in the sense that it's responsive to mobile app as well. So if I'm on my phone, and as Matt indicated, there's such a higher strong kind of presence of everybody on their devices at the moment. So, you know, once I get linked to that, like, that's just such a key, or such a, I guess, a beautiful explanation, or a presentation of, you know, making UX or making that flow so easy for the actual member. So I can run ahead then and then process that app. So those are a few pieces again of what our web integrations look like, how you can integrate everything on your member app, or excuse me, on your social media. And yeah, I think those, even if it's the case that if you don't have any of the features which we're going to run through now, just to make sure that you have those pieces of, let's say, again, your lead acquisition enabled, in terms of your website, your booking links, your classes, your memberships, everything, just making sure that you know, that you really do like a refresh on what's in place at the moment. So with that, Matt, I'll pass it back over to you to run through our current tools of, let's say, our lead acquisition that are in place for our platinum plan. So I think this is one of my favorite tools in Glofox, and hopefully you'll see why. And yeah, I'll hand it back to you, Matt.
Yeah, so thanks again, Neve. So I suppose I'll go through like what we're kind of looking at here. We're calling proactive lead acquisition. So, you know, a big part of having this lead functionality is obviously to drive more and more leads to your business, and then using the tools that we have within Glofox, such as the conversion rates and things like that. And we can find out which things are working, so to focus more time on that. So we've kind of picked out a few things that we've seen and been used over the time in, you know, our years in Glofox, and what's worked well for people. So things like challenges are great. Programs that are 4 to 8 weeks long. The reason why these are great is because they're not just great for like bringing in new people. They're actually great for like re-engaging other people that may be within the studio that have gone kind of silent or cold. So a lot of people like to see these challenges where they're going to be beginning with somebody and finishing with a group of people as well. It means that they create friends within the studio. It also means that they have a bit of time to get used to each other and get used to the way that you guys train. I've seen a high rate of, like, you know, for people that are using challenges to then kind of use that model and build into their business going forward. I've seen a really high success rate there. So yeah, again, they're great for engaging current members, but also acquiring new members through friends and family and things like that. So it's quite a nice way. And one way to look at it might be, you know, around Christmas, like a lot of people run like specific challenges to get back in shape for the new year. I know that I'll probably be needing one of those in January. So if you guys get the leads out there, perhaps you might have a new client on your hands here. It's certainly a lot of turkey and stuffing gets eaten in my house. But yeah, and then there's kind of two other ways that we have it. There's two kind of trials that we won. You know, we do have the option with the lead functionality to create trial memberships. And what a trial membership is good for, you know, getting people in to test the studio. So get them in. You know, we do have the option to have free trials and paid trials, and we'll kind of run through the positives of both of those. Like, they're both good, but we kind of lean towards, you know, one in terms of wanting to, or what to expect out of it. So I suppose we'll jump into those now.
Yeah, brilliant. So what Matt just kind of ran through there were, let's say, the different platforms that you can use to, let's say, acquire leads really easily. So one of those is our free trial. So again, whenever you have a free trial membership, actually setting up the membership is really simple. You just toggle on that trial membership, and then anybody who purchases that then on, they will be I guess considered or acknowledged as a trial in the system. But how you can actually get those free trials set up on your actual website is through our lead capture forms. So we have a few types of lead capture forms. A free trial is one of them. Matt touched on a paid trial as well. And then we also have a contact capture. So your free trial, and in less than 90 seconds, you can have a prospect, on your website, and then through the lead capture form, they insert their first name, last name, email address, a few other additional details. And what happens is through that actual flow, they get assigned a membership. So this is without the studio being involved in any shape or form. And then once the membership is signed onto their profile, they get landed onto a booking calendar. They book their class, and then they're now registered in the system in the class. So you've gone from having a prospect is just a prospect on your website to actually being not only just registered but booked into a class. So that's so important in terms of a lead acquisition, because you've really kept the blinkers on your prospects to give them a clear call to action and a clear flow, which they can't really move away from. It's very much kind of in the one funnel, and that's like so important in terms of lead acquisition. I think we're going back to that piece where where web integration is really strongly kind of set up is whenever it's a clear like navigation of what their goals are. And I was made that comment about Dora Explorer having to find her way to kind of book into a class, whereas there's none of that here involved with the lead capture form. It's so clear, it's so clean, and they've gone, and the action and the response that you want them to have, as in registering, purchasing a membership, or getting a trial membership and then booking in, it's all taken care of for you. So you don't have to do much work on that front. Once then a lead is registered and they've purchased that, or they've gotten that free trial membership, they get immediately filtered into the leads tab with a trial status. And we'll show what that looks like in a second once we actually run through a demo of, let's say, our paid lead capture form, which Matt will touch on now. So it's really clearly, I guess, distinguished who your trial members are or who your trial leads are. One of the things, just as in terms of like a quality piece, is that anybody who purchases or kind of opts in for the free trial, generally, if you opt in for this setup, you will get a high volume of leads. The quality may not be as strong, let's say, as a paid trial, which Matt is going to run through, but it's still a great way, let's say, to generate interest, to get the word out. Everybody loves free stuff, so a free trial, if that suits your kind of your member ecosystem, then absolutely this is like a really important kind of type of campaign or type of membership to set up with our lead capture forms. So yeah, I'll hand it back over to you, Matt, just to kind of run through our paid trial.
Yeah, so the paid trial is a really similar registration process. So it's kind of the same thing in terms of, we'll put a lead capture form there, we'll put the trial membership attached to it. But in this time, there's going to be one additional step, which is we're going to actually try and capture that person's credit card details to pay for the whatever this trial is, whether it's a discounted rate to normal, or, just maybe it could be the same price as normal, but you're offering something else. Yeah, that's totally to decide on. But on average, yeah, the way we see paid trials is while they may not create as many leads, the quality of those leads, as Niamh touched on, is a lot stronger. They've already committed to sharing their card details with you. So it's kind of, they're willing to put something on the line in terms of to receive what this product is. So that's why it's kind of good. It's always good to kind of run a few of these and see, which one works better for you. There's definitely cases where some of my clients have said like, oh no, asking for payment at the start has deterred their users and the free trial works better for them. But then there's definitely others the other way around. And I suppose it all just depends on the overall model of the studio itself. So if that was something that you were looking to find out which one you think you'd do better off, like, again, do reach out to the customer success team. I'm sure, if it was myself or Niamh, we've both had clients that have been in the exact same position that you're in, and we're more than able to kind of, give you a helping hand there on what we would suggest doing. So yeah, and then pay trials also just assist with the studio sales strategy. So because the payment details are already kind of captured, it's much easier and smoother to then kind of transition them into another fully paid membership. Maybe you have all of those that are on paid trials in a specific campaign where once it comes to the end of that first week or whatever it is, that we're actively engaging with these people to kind of, see if we can get them to click that proceed and move on to like a fully pledged membership with yourself. And then finally, I think there's just one little piece on a kind of a contact capture form. So what this is, again, like we do kind of highly encourage the first two options of a trial and the paid trial, just because it kind of creates more, you know, they go from just signing up to having a trial and booking in with you really quickly. But again, if that wasn't something, and maybe you want to kind of converse with all of your clients on a personal basis before they come through, and kind of, you know, qualify them yourselves, there's always the option for this contact capture form, where it will just capture the fundamental members' information, name, email, contact number. And this way you can screen clients and offer them a trial in your own way. As I know, a lot of studios do have their own, and gyms do have their own unique way of kind of onboarding new clients into the environment. And then this way does just require your staff to be very responsive and very reactive, as you know, all the customer is really doing is assigning their details, and they're kind of leaving it in your hands to follow up with them and get them engaged to see, you know, what's going to draw them into the location itself.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And I think that last piece of just having like staff kind of, I guess, ready to go is really important with this contact capture. Again, it's still a really effective way to capture your leads. But if we wanted to, if we were to recommend a really hands-off approach to lead acquisition, it's definitely the free trial and the paid trial. And as Matt indicated there, if it's the case that you're not actually sure which type of lead capture form would be suitable for you, just let us know and kind of get in contact with us, and we'd be more than happy to do that refresh and kind of construct that type of playbook of what your best approaches for lead acquisition are. So I'll actually just run through, this is kind of a test website that we have in place here. So again, whenever we're talking about effective and really well set up web integrations, you know, immediately here, as you land onto this website, you can see, you know, I guess what our main goal is that we're passionate about fitness, which everybody in Glofox is, and also a very clear, you know, indication of what my next step is meant to be. So I've got a very clear call to action here of book your free class. So I think I might need to actually hop off into another browser here for this to get up and running, the joys of a live demo. But I'll still run through this here so you can kind of see how effective it is. You've got your class timetable, memberships, courses, trainers, and so on. Trial memberships, again, is going to be another kind of thing that you want to set up. This is our kind of A/B testing that we were just talking about, if you're not sure which one to run through. But as you kind of scroll down, then you can see all of your different types of membership offers. And I'll actually bring up this one here. It's my private setting, kind of playing games with me there. But yeah, you can see all of your different types of memberships, and you go to purchase. That'll bring you to your our membership page. A clear view on the actual schedule. This type of view can all be changed as well. So again, there's so much customization available here. This is the contact capture that we were referring to. So again, just minimal information that's captured here. Where we would kind of obviously recommend is getting, let's say, your free trial in place. So again, you have that pop up there, free trial and so on. Very clear what is required here. And also really importantly today is that you do capture that studio waiver immediately. We'll actually just run through the paid trial, just because there's one additional step and it'll still give you that aesthetics of what's involved. So if we go through, we'll do Matt Black, I feel like Black Smith, Matt, unfortunately my pseudonames has gone to the dogs recently. I do this so often, it's God only knows what type of names I come out with whenever I'm setting this up. So here, you know, as you can see, it's very, very simple for me to actually add all those details. This spinning wheel is actually attaching now that membership onto my profile. As it is a paid membership, I'm just having to add my credit card details in here. Oops. Once I save my card, this is now attaching the membership onto my profile. So this is that attachment, that membership's on my profile, and I will be immediately then now brought to my booking calendar where I can book my first class. So once I go to, all I have to do is scroll through. Again, this is just a test or a live environment. So we can see we've been already pretty busy testing this out. You can see all of your available classes. Once you go ahead and click into that, you have a few more details to add, and that's just to capture some other payment details. You can go and create your own password so that you can definitely make sure that, let's say, You can sign in straight away through Facebook, and through our new Insights report feature. You actually can now track where all of your leads are coming from. So if you ever wondered where you're getting your most kind of lead acquisition, or where your kind of leads are coming from, you can find that out now with the new Glofox Insights feature. So as you can see, if I wasn't too busy talking there, you can see it's a pretty simple sign-up process. I wasn't, diverted in any way to get, attracted by a membership, to get attracted by this, that, and the other. It was very clear and simple what my goal was to actually set all of this up. If I'm super eager, I can go ahead and book another class, and there I'm brought onto the booking calendar there as well. So one thing I will show you now is what happens from the administrative or the staff purchase. So once I actually go and set up that process, you see Matt here, they're now registered in the leads tab. So there's a clear differentiation between our leads and our clients. I'm coming in as a trial status as well, which is so important. So again, it's really, really intuitive just from a staff perspective, but also your leads, you really want to make that so simple for them. So those are our main setups. If we were to run through a free trial demo, it's the exact same. You just don't have that credit card piece into it. For those interested in our Facebook Pixel, if it was the case that, let's say, I had gotten to the point where I had processed or inserted my name and my credit card details, but didn't actually complete that registration of getting the membership onto my profile, if I got busy with something, if I was exited out of my phone, whatever, what you can actually target with Facebook Pixel is anybody who dropped off on that stage. So that's really, really powerful in terms of, like, let's say, making sure that you can retarget those those prospects who didn't actually complete the registration. So that's just something to kind of pay attention to there as well, if that's what you're really interested in. If you want to learn more about that, just let us know, and there's tons of supportive content as well on the likes of Facebook of how all of that operates. So I'll hand it back over to Matt after that demo, just as a quick recap of everything that you can do. If there's 5 messages for you to take home after today's webinar, this is it.
Yeah, so if there was 5 things you could do to kind of maximize your conversion on your leads after listening to us today, the first and foremost would kind of be to integrate your Glofox to your website and ensure that classes and memberships are easy to locate. As Neve said, it's so imperative, and also, like, if you do use the Facebook Pixel, not only can you find out the members that have kind of dropped off, if you might be able to find certain areas in the process currently that, if there's a high drop-off rate in a certain area, maybe there's something we need to change in that area to kind of engage people a little bit more. So A, you can find those that drop off. B, you can find areas that you might be able to improve on your own side. Using Glofox social booking links to attract members over social media. So again, it's so popular. It's so in our faces all the time. We're all using these apps, and they're kind of the go-to for advertising for anyone my generation and younger. Anyway, I'd say would spend more of their time on their phone than anywhere else. Encouraging staff to capture and close leads on the dashboards in the Glofox Pro by offering incentives. So again, just making use of these tools that we have that let you do these things on the go means that you don't necessarily have to run back to a laptop or get back to anywhere. You can do this straight from your phone. So it's quite an easy process if you did just spark up an organic conversation with somebody inside or outside of work. And like building excitement by launching like a fitness challenge. So again, like running these promotional events for kind of periods of time. Again, we highlighted on, like, this builds kind of a rapport between the people that come in. It kind of gets everybody kind of working towards a fixed goal together. And then at the end of it, once people have seen the progression that they've made, because that's what you guys are going to do, because that's what you all are amazing at, you're going to make those changes, and then they're going to want to buy, the recurring membership for life or whatever it might be. And then finally, just like using the SMS and the push notifications to target leads with trial membership. So like using the lead filters from the lead filter page, filtering, making sure to, like, maybe you only want to talk to those that are in a trial right now, to kind of focus on them, and then using the push notifications straight from the dashboard, or if you have moved onto our SMS package. Again, like a big thing that we've seen since we've released our SMS is that there's a high rate between people that follow through on those messages, because it's straight in front of them and they get intrigued and click into it, and that kind of sets the tone there. But yeah, they'd be the 5 things that we'd kind of suggest maximizing your conversion. And I don't know if Niamh may have anything else to kind of plug in there just to kind of wrap it all up.
Yeah, no, I think something I just nerd out so much on is the SMS with the leads tab and the filters there. I think it's just, if you have the leads tab, you just need to have the SMS with it as well, because the two of those working in tandem with each other are just so powerful in terms of, a lead kind of management perspective. On lead management as well, I failed to just actually flag what is displaying here in this image. It's actually our lead conversion report. So that shows you basically, you've done all the work, you've put the work into your website, to your social media links. You want to actually see, once you get the leads in, how you're actually performing, and that lead conversion report will support you with that as well. If you want a more granular report that's involved with our lead acquisition as well, that's all available on our Glofox Insights reports as well. So we've tons of webinars that do go through that, but of course, take home messages from today from your health check on your website are these. And listen, we'd be so interested to hear any questions that anybody has. Again, Matt and I do love our questions, so please don't hesitate to give us any ones. So I actually see there's one coming in now where it's just about which plan these lead capture forms are available on. So these lead capture forms are available on our platinum plan only. If you are interested in those, if you are on our gold plan or silver and want to kind of look into what they will be and what's available with our lead capture forms, just let us know on customersuccess@glofox.com and we can run through how they will be effective for you and if it's the right fit for your kind of lead acquisition strategy as well. And don't hesitate to reach out on those. There's one other question here just about the web integrations. So I don't have a web developer. How can I get these set up myself? So again, Matt, maybe do you want to take that one just about our team that's there at the moment?
Yeah, 100%. So the first thing I'd say is, like myself and Niamh, we work in customer success. We're by no means engineers ourselves, and if it came to reading code
unfortunately, we'll get there.
at one point potentially we'll do some further studying and get there. But it's totally understandable, and we're more than here to assist with that. So we do have a team of technical support and website specialists that we can put you in contact with. And the way that I always say it to my clients, and if anybody here has gone through onboarding with me at any stage in the past or has had calls in customer success, is like the best way to do this is for me to put you in contact with one of them. They are experts. If you tell them what you want, they'll be able to best advise and set that up for you in a matter of, I think, once we have everything ready to go, it's a 24-hour turnaround time that we can get that lead capture onto your website. So if you don't know where to start, just send myself or Niamh or customer success at glofox.com an email, and we'll be more than happy to put you in contact with the best person to assist you there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think an important point just to kind of reiterate there is that if you have your own kind of intentions and ideas of how you want your website set up, absolutely, like our team will support you with that. But I would strongly recommend kind of listening to their advice, for example, because they are the experts in the matter. They've done this hundreds upon hundreds of times. So any kind of top tips that you can squeeze from them, definitely do where you can. So listen, I am conscious that we've kind of gone a little bit over time here and everybody does have a busy schedule. So with that, again, any additional questions that you may have, just let us know. Otherwise, if you need additional resources, maybe you already have these lead capture forms that just you haven't utilized them enough. There's definitely tons of resources there on our knowledge base. If it's a case that webinars aren't your thing or you want to read a little bit more about it, you can find out all of those details on our lead acquisition, website integration, and then obviously our best practices as well. So if it's the case that you want any more further information again on this matter, we talk to so many experts within the fitness industry. It's really encouraging, and definitely learn from those. So if blogs and podcasts are your thing, I know podcasts are massive at the moment, definitely try and download these on the Fitness Founders podcast, and you can get to learn from some of the experts there. And then obviously, like, thank you so much again for listening to us today and for running through kind of this really important topic that sometimes could get overshadowed in the busyness of, let's say, getting your entire business set up and managing it as well. So if you do have any other questions that you have, just let us know, and myself on my email, or even on our customer success at glofox.com. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And yeah, listen, thank you so much for your time, and we hope everyone has a great day. So thank you and take care. Bye.